Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4's Black Ice. And hey, if this is just welcome here because it's your first time, hopefully I earn your hitting that subscription button. And of course, everyone, lick the like button. They tell me it tastes different for each video, so you only need to lick it once. And it see how the flavor, and it tastes good, they say. So. Right. Well, I've got a problem here with the game. Or what's going on right now. Not so much the mod or whatever. I've been requested by Hungary, and I need to reply to this, to join their wars because Italy's asked them against Greece. Now, I don't have to do anything. It looks so far that the Italians, to some degree, and it looks like they may be getting ready to move some more units over to Albania. And this is the problem with a lot of their, looks like they're moving that unit at the moment. The problem with that is once I do that, they're probably, they are sort of prepared for here. They're probably going to enter the big European war. I was sort of hoping like winter, when it's not good to go into Norway or whatever, I could join Italy and then we could smash into the, North Africa. But it looks like I need to go into here, which brings them into a wider war. So we will accept that. And another thing I also need to do is we have lots of air experience. So, well, we've got those. Done. Do we, oh boy. They changed things around here. I just want to look. Air Doctrine, we can boost our research with 41, so we'll go down to 140 days with 100 points. Okay, so let's I guess do that. Well, that uses up a bunch, which you sort of use or lose, and that. Hey, Sing! Well, I'm doing great. The real question is, how are you doing today? I hope very well. Okay, so the French aren't pushing so much here at the moment, but they might start again. So what I'm going to do is send you to there, you to there. Yeah. Okay, so we might be having Mediterranean problem. Oh no, we're just getting started here. You're not coming in late. Well, I can hear either news first. I don't know what matters. Whatever you're best to tell me first, I guess. Good or bad news. I hope the good news is regarding you personally, but as opposed to just general world situation or. Okay, so we pushed into here. Good. And Arno, yes, hello here, and hello John over on YouTube. It's worthy of a possible multiplayer, yes, and I was just thinking about that, at least in concept, the other day. Okay, so we just got in a large group here. So what we're going to do is we're going to send in a couple of infantry divisions to, well, no, maybe not you. You're not very good organized shape. Well, neither are you, but you go in, I guess. And I want to put this Light Division and Totenkopf in there. Hey Aiden, how you doing? You're getting any? No, I'm not getting any planning bonuses. I should do more of that. I know it's Greece joins allies. That's what I was waiting for. You add to that. You guys are well organized. You add your weight to there. Yeah, you're coming fast. Pull that side division. Yeah, you can swing out that way. First, good news. I can move without. Oh, very good. Well, hey, you know, and got a PS5. Well, good. Well, if you can move around without a wheelchair, that's great, Sing, you know, and I figure you're going to eventually walk just fine. But yeah, I'm sure it's a lot harder than I imagine getting back from all of that, but good to hear. There's a trick you can... Yeah, you can explain it to me. I'm not exactly sure if I know the trick. And I don't know how much I should or shouldn't do of like that. Okay, we are... What is going on here? Oh, we have some subs that are probably returning home or something that are getting blasted. Okay, now the bad news. Let's move to more divisions. We don't need all of these up there. Okay, you come down to Lille. You come down this way. Yeah, you guys maybe get ready to break out into here. Would be useful. Okay, I think just this way. You joined us. I know they're facing only one division left, but no, we're not going to be able to pocket them. Well, come down to reinforce the front line here, getting ready to push soon. You join that and you start marching into there. Okay, that's our enemy. Yeah. Okay, well, we're getting more factories, I think captured, but not absolutely sure. Okay, well, look at our trade situation. No, trade. Okay, so we're doing positive on everything. We're using 19 convoys, getting our rubber in from Thailand. Could get some from Hungary or whatever. If that becomes too much of a problem, oil we're going down with. So let's look here. Let's get all we can from Romania right now. Okay. Food production. Well, let's look over at deficits. Okay, medium artillery, heavy artillery, we're way down on. Garrison equipment, we're way down on. You got lots of light tanks. We're slowly catching up here, but we're gonna we want to reorganize a lot of divisions. We're way down on aircraft. We've been having a lot of losses there. But with rubber being short, I don't know that I want to increase that. So we're going to have more garrison needs. So let's go with garrison equipment. Get that going. Okay, here's the trick demonstration. Make a big difference in your campaign. Okay. I think, is Italy now at war with, yes, everybody. Which in a way helps me, and in a way it hurts me. You know, I do think we're going to take down France anyways. Okay. We're waiting for, I mean, I have been putting piecemeal some of the forces. Okay, here. They've just made it into here. Now, no, move those guys on the rails. Come on. What are you talking about? Okay. I know I said it's going to take a little while for them to invade me, and I do mean it, but we'll leave a few there. Move this one here. You guys can march. Okay, let's see. It's raining here really hard, and roads are flooded, and I'm stuck in my car and turned off, but no need to worry. Okay, rescue teams. Oh, wow, that is a bit harsh. I hope you are not in the middle of a flood zone. Oh boy, I've seen video and such of monsoons in that part of the world, and it can be pretty bad thing. So you be safe. You be safe. Oh boy. Well, I don't know that he wants to go swimming right now. I hope everything's good. Oh boy. Okay, they pushed in. All right, good. You push forward too. Nope, they're retreating now, but let's. Okay, you guys just got into alone. So you go in and you go back in. Okay, so we fund continental oil. Okay, good. Continental oil. Let's remind myself of that one here. Where were we? What is it? Synthetic rubber. Oh boy. I just like to, I'm trying to learn these, you know, to know them and not just haphazardly move around. Or was that over here for Romania thing? I think maybe. Maybe not. Oh yes, it was right here. Okay. So offers to buy half of Astro. Okay, develop their industry. They get an assembly plant, which will help them, which will help us. Military training. I invest in Romanian industry, which we do want to do these things, but yeah, we wanted to get that. Operation 3. Pressure Yugoslavia. We cancel manually. Yeah, we got to take down France. German-Soviet commercial agreement. $35 days. Yeah, no, we don't want you to get flooded with cars. Hello, with your car. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just a little worried about singing in the rain. I do hope he's stopped in a safe location and just waiting for people to come and deal with it. Really do hope so. Okay. I'm very good. You know how to swim. Yeah, you can probably swim out of it, but okay. Synthetic rubber refineries. That would help our rubber problem. Yeah, like I say, I really wish they would just. I mean, this is a drastic thing, but to the best of my knowledge, Germany takes over Skoda and takes over CKD in a timely fashion, you know, not like years later. And they do a lot of these things. And I don't know that I've, like, done some specific thing way out of expected order. You know, I haven't done this, which they did, but, you know, maybe you don't do everything. So I really wish they would just start out by cutting all, you know, just because it would be easier to go in the modding field, because I've done it a long time ago, and just like cut all the days in half, and then go and look. Oh well, maybe that's too much, and well, what group of them, not necessarily all of them, do we want to add back more days to do? You know, what really does matter to a national focus? Because as some of the people have said, and I forget exactly who. Sorry, guys. A lot of these things really should just aren't really national focus. They're decisions to do, and you know, which one do you want to do? Befriend Japan, befriend China? Is that really a national focus as opposed to something? But I get the roadmap idea. I get all that. Okay, let's come over here. We're gonna do rubber. I don't know if that's the best one at this moment, but I want more rubber. That'll get us 2 more refineries and research bonus and synthetic resources. Okay, what's the German? Okay, yeah, well, and that's worthy to look at. I'll get to some of the other chat here in just a moment. Okay. Everyone hears about the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact. And then there was a major addendum to that comes up with this borders. Because this is basically where the Germans and Soviets meet. They definitely hold a parade in this city of Brest-Litovsk, however you want to say it today. But, I mean, there are various things there. This bit here, Germany had pressed into. And, I mean, they may have also pressed a bit more in some other zones or whatever. But this is, Germany gets into here. Well, this river here to about here, in the maps, because it doesn't keep going. And draw it sort of straight down from somewhere along in here. Was going, so this whole section in here, and I don't know how accurate, because they're drawing on their sort of provincial borders, how accurate this is. I think it's a little more straighter here. But this area was supposed to be part of the Soviet zone, and I believe this was to be part of the Soviet zone, I believe. But this was going to be part of the German zone. Now, starting in 1939, I think, and I've learned this researching my mod for Black Ice and Hearts of Iron 3, Third Reich Events, it calls, and I just forget some of the details. Sorry, guys. In 1939, I believe after the, well, I don't know if it was after the start of the invasion of Poland or after, but there is a big move to resettle Germans from the Baltic states into Germany, and definitely some of it is going, I definitely know, into captured the territory that's very quickly reorganized back into, considered into Germany here. But only from Estonia and Latvia, not Lithuania. This part happens in two phases. The first phase is when the Baltic states are still independent. The second phase happens when after the Soviet occupation in 1940. So, because the Germans know the Soviet occupation's coming, but they don't tell the Baltic. And the guys that are managing the system don't know that it's coming. It's more, secret high level stuff. But they're doing this, and so the first batch really get compensated for their closing of their businesses, or whether it's a farm, a shop, or whatever, selling up their homes. The second batch after the Soviets, you just get to get out with whatever you carry. So they definitely don't do that for Lithuania in the first phase, because this is why I think some of this might be redrawn. In the second phase, after the Soviets get in, I think they may get German, quote unquote, German ethnic refugees from Lithuania at that point. And a lot of them are settled in this part of Poland. So this is sort of a trade-off. So those are going on with that. Now, while all that's going on, there is also commercial agreements. This is the German-Soviet credit system here, and Germans get trade country costs minus 10%. So you get, for when you're buying oil and whatever, you're getting it at a better deal. And here looks like the same type of thing, but a second one, the commercial agreement. To the best of my knowledge, and God, so much I don't know. First time getting rescued, I don't know what to say. Thank you would probably be very good. Say thank you to all of the, I'm guessing, men that come to rescue you. Thank them for doing, even if it's just their job. Thank them for doing their job. That's what you say. You say thank you to the people that are rescuing you. Saying yes. Take SS Klingfurt for PP since you are low on it. Yeah, that we can probably, there's a lot of stuff here. We've got, again, I don't think he should be dropping stability by 6%. I don't think the SS were doing that. I think they were stabilizing the situation. Okay. I don't think Soviet rubles or Reichsmarks of the current regime are of use to either of these nations for these commercial agreements. But what was useful for the Soviet Union was, a heavy cruiser. I think it's of the Hipper class that is partially completed. It's floating. It has, I think, one or two of its main turrets in. And they also send up, I think, gun barrels or whatever that never get installed. The Soviets never complete it, but get sent up, towed up to here to be completed. So that's a big ship. The Germans set up a manufacturing plant to make motorcycles, and I forget whether it's the Zundap, or I think it's the Zundap, or maybe it's the BMW motorcycle sidecar system. So most all those, and you don't see huge numbers of them, but you do see photos with Soviets running around with motorcycles and sidecars. Well, that's made in a factory that's set up by Germany at this time period. And the Soviet anti-tank gun, I forget its name, is a licensed, if you will, copy that the Germans helped set up in the Soviet Union for that. That's basically a Pak 36. The only thing that's changed is its up gun, because the Soviet sort of standard was a 45 millimeter gun. So it's up gun from the 37 to a 45 millimeter gun. But otherwise, and I'm not saying it's like parts compatible, like you can take a screw out of one and put it in the other, but it's basically the same gun. I know the Germans also, again, I think at this sort of time, send in the largest steel rolling mill, or machine, or machines. I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of them. I don't know, that the Soviets have at that time. They also get some more large ones after the war, when they take stuff from Germany, as reparations. I don't know that it's stealing. It's Germans did a lot of damage to them, but it's the largest steel rolling. Is larger than anything the Soviets had, larger than anything the Soviets could probably build at the time. I think the Germans let it happen because they think it's going to be used to build ships, and they don't care if the Soviet Union tries to build ships. But my understanding, from what I've read, and it may be wrong, it's what allows them to make the KV tanks, the heavier armored tanks. Without it, the Soviets would not have been able to make their heavy armored tanks at that time. And I don't know how far away they were from being able to build one themselves, but it was. So Germany really at this time is helping Soviet industry, and there's train loads after train loads of tankers coming in with oil. There's train loads after train loads of grain coming into the Reich during this time. So there's a huge flood of resources, and I know those two things specifically, and I'm presuming other basic resources coming out of the Soviet Union. So there's a commercial agreement set up. You give us this, we give you that, kind of thing. Yeah, I thank them and I invite them. Oh, well, very good. Yes, that's also, yes, you have that dinner with us. They say they will sure come. Well, very good. Very good. That's very good. So yes, very good. So that's sort of, and then in the game terms, what it does is, when you get oil, or something, you hopefully getting it at a little better deal than you might. We're just going to leave it at where we're at. There, I know I could order more, but trying to get. Okay, well, because we sort of expanded, let's see if we can expand this a little more. Okay, well, that's more efficient because I have been 21. Now we'll be at 24 for 3 factories. So we'll fully utilize those. What are those goals next? Oh, here. Those I clicked on, and I can add in here, like research speed, or click over here, and I could do that for a couple of these things here. Like, I don't know, factories, how many factories we have, if I want to add other information that I want to keep up on the top. Yes, well, very good. Very good. Sing. Glad you're going to be all right. I live in a fairly dry spot, but we have earthquakes here as our sort of special fun times. Okay, let's see. England drops the mask ever since the British conquest of Egypt. People, okay, yes, they've taken over England. Romania agrees. Our negotiations return. Agrees to return empty with smiles and forms. Signature the Romanian government. Yeses. Okay, so What is... Looks like we're getting all the oil, and they've just given it, because it had been, what, 48, I believe? I think we're just getting half straight up now, without having to trade. Very, very good. Oh, well, good. Glad your brother's able to pick you up. Very good there, Singh. Okay, you guys. You come this way. You come this way. Add a little more weight to the outside, but we're also pushing in. Here we keep pushing for both flanks. Need to cancel the trade agreement with Romania or it comes to... Oh, do we get it all? Let's try. Oh, so we get it all if we cancel the... Okay, that's very good. Without ICs. Very good. Now, let's look at our construction ICs. Okay, a lot of them are doing repairs to railroads and stuff. Cool, but they'll repair anyways on their own, though slower. Oh, we got our last two rubbers, so we probably have... well, no, we don't have any extra rubber. Okay. I thought we were last doing rubber, but I don't remember. Let's do a few more military ICs now. Where do we want to stick them? We can stick one there, and we can stick one there. Get going a bit better. Thank you, folk. No, we're getting you guys coming down to there, so you guys come to here. You push to there, to there. You push here. You come to there. Okay, I know we're on the outskirts of Paris, and taking Paris would be nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with that and that division there, some infantry divisions. I did not want the armor to be hitting on its own, so let's send Rommel in there now. These guys are here, good. We're getting more reinforcements coming up. All of you guys are all going to push in here, because we don't want to delay our advance. Okay, we just got across the river, so you guys push in. Crossed here, and so do you. Where's my air? Well, hello, said Seth. Our air is not doing terribly well, as you can see here, and we're back here. I'm reluctant to, when we've lost a lot of air. I'm reluctant to continue losing more, so we should probably even stop some of this. So, now let's just select all of these. No, I keep wanting to do that. Let's hold these because we no longer need to do any that up in the Benelux. So you can all go home. Westfalen here. We don't need anything over at Belgium, so because you can see we're pretty bad, so hold air wings. I think we're just gonna YOLO it and fight under enemy air superiority. And hello, Seth, how you doing? I didn't say that. When we first. Okay. Do we have proper AA divisions? No, we do not have anything that would be considered an AA division. You come up that way. Okay. I do have concerns with this division on how, or I just saw a division there, with this mod on how well it sort of does historical production or not. I think it overbuilds for challenging you with some of the nations. Well, good, you're home. That must feel a lot better than being trapped in a car that's, or in a car that's sort of trapped in a location that isn't maybe the best. So yeah, that's good. Okay, these guys are coming to the front here very soon. Okay, these guys have made it here. I'm gonna wait until all of these guys are at this front here. And so we're not having to cross the river. Okay, well, you guys and you guys back there, yeah. Get them from 2 provinces. Push in. Okay, you're crossed. They've stopped counterattacking. Let's send some infantry divisions to. Oh, awesome. I want to get these all sort of coordinated in. There we go. And we're gonna do. We're going to add one more division here. This is mostly just to pin these two divisions to keep them from assisting. The other ones. Yeah, for research, you know, it's partially, and it, you know, somebody posted, I forget who, again, I know you, some of you guys I remember, but it's remember who posting what, but somebody I don't think I recognize, posted a really nice long post, and I skimmed through it on the why I'm leaving World Ablaze mod, and he had some good points, and one of them was, in essence, I don't know what I'm doing with World Ablaze mod, and it's a really challenging thing, mod. And he's absolutely right. I had hoped a few more people who were experienced with World Ablaze, not necessarily the devs, I mean, if they had the time, but just some of the players, would show up in the live chat and help me walk through what to produce as in factories, what to produce as in equipment, what to do as national focuses, and when, because I knew it was key. You know, if there's a magical path, I really would have liked to know what that magical path was. And folk, I do remember what some of you guys did it. You know what some of you guys do. Folk did a really nice, and I used it as a general guide, though not following it specifically. And it's, I think the link is in our Discord server somewhere, up publicly. To and a good sort of national focus plan for Black Ice that he did. But even then, there's still choices to be made and whatnot. So, and you know, and he says, well, you know, and World of Blaze says it's an you know, sort of mod for experts. And yeah, I get all that. But I had played a few versions of World of Blaze by the time I made that video. and not just the playthrough that, the multiplayer playthrough that we did. And if there is only one, in essence, one path for Germany, to be able to, you got to hit the right national focuses in the right order, and you got to build, the right number of factories, but you can't oversupply, can't over import on oil, because if you do that, you or any other over import, but oil is sort of the big one. Oh, we've lost a few ships, it looks like. If you're over import, you're using up your civilian, factories that you should better be used for something else. And, if there is this sort of magical formula, supposedly to be able to make Germany to effectively invade the Soviet Union, fine. Well, either one, someone should get out and freaking write it up in detail, or two, someone should make a video. I would have been happy to make that video had someone held my hand through it. I wasn't going to repeatedly play until, start over again and make the video, keep going until I finally get it out, or spend 2 weeks of, 8 hours a day on my own time, just playing it, learning it, becoming an expert, and then to show it off. Yeah, that'd be great, but come on, guys, how much effort do I put into this, any sort of channel? And when what should be easy, Barbarossa, and we'll see how this is, because this is why Raids quit Black Ice before, and no one's confirmed or denied what it's going to be, but a 41, and this is what I'm probably going to have to do, a 41 Barbarossa, even though I want to be down in the Mediterranean. A 41 Barbarossa should be easy up until, right about here as the invasion depth. If you're giving me, penalties, whether to me or penalty or buffs or both to the Soviets that are so heavy that make it hard to do. They were crumbling, people. They were panzer or armored units were being destroyed, mostly because they didn't have radios and they were told to hold the defensive line and other crap like that. But anyway, but even the vehicles are substandard and units don't work as well, and tactics were nowhere near, and their command structure was destroyed, and what was left was petrified, and they were in the middle of a restructure after the failure of the Winter War. And all of those things come together and go, yeah, it should be easy. And now eventually, just whether it's organization or equipment loss, or now with the new supply system, supply is getting to be the problem without upgrading the railroads and whatnot, and repairing them and getting them to go. So if they're going to throw in a bunch of mals for me, then, and I want to know this before I take the time to learn this is sort of not the game, we could say, is, Hearts of Iron 4, but this is a, total overhaul. It's still World War II, but this is a total overhaul mod. To learn this mod, if they're going to throw in a bunch of mals or buffs like I talked about, then why the fuck am I playing this? Well, to be a challenging game. No, I want a historical game. I want, not that things have to be right, but I want the Soviet Union to make the Soviet Union's decisions. Now, if I'm going to be playing a human opponent, modern human opponent, okay, now they, within the parameters, within what is hopefully a good Soviet, I may have opened this up, but I haven't really looked at all of this to learn and know this. But what would be a good national focus tree that's all reasonable, and a human player could decide to not shoot himself in the foot, maybe, or something like that. I'm not sure that you got to, and I haven't looked. I don't know if I would consider this to be great, good, or terrible. I don't know. There's a lot of shit here, so somebody's done a bunch of work, and it doesn't really matter. You guys can, I'm not going to zoom in and focus on it. You guys can download the mod and just open it up and look at it. But, so if I'm playing against the human, then I'm playing against the human who's making choices within the realms of, I presume, possibility. I hope these don't have, because they all seem to have, like I see pictures of Stalin around. Don't have return to Tsar or something like that, some crazy crap like that. I'll get to the chats, guys. Don't worry. Hey, Tinky. But if these are all reasonable possibilities, with given Stalinism and whatever, okay, then I'm playing against a human person who can make, like I am doing for Germany, can make, reverse engineered decisions, because we know sort of what's happening in history. So you were starting in 1936. So we're building up Germany for a 1939/40 war. So yeah, within those parameters, well then we're playing as, so either we're playing as the Soviet Union, so we get to make it there, or if we're playing a multiplayer game, the human player can make other rational decisions. I'm happy with that. But I want Britain to make basically Britain's decisions, then adjusted for the realities on the ground. If I defeat France or if I don't defeat France, things will happen a bit differently. Do we go after to Norway to protect our convoys, so that we can put air units here and deal with shipping along the coast? And of course, so far Britain has not. I mean, this was our submarines coming home, and looked like one made it, or one died, and the other 7 made it back to port or whatever. But I wanted to make reasonably historically based decisions, again adjusted by that. I don't want a super challenge mod. Not that those shouldn't exist, it's just not what I'm looking for. Now, if we play this through, and I was asked earlier on, and I will get to the chat here just a minute, people. People say they like my rants. That if this overall seems good to me, then I want to learn it in detail. Okay, then I'm willing to put the time in it. And right now, and as I'm building this series, is a look at Black Ice's, or Hearts of Iron 4's Black Ice, which is different than the Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice. Different team, different mod, same name. I could have done all this, yes, I know, and some of the people would want it, off camera beforehand, faster, and not just playing it on Saturdays with you guys. But whether I did it live or did it on my own, either way, we'd be presenting it about this speed anyways. So, and I want to evaluate it, like I've been talking about. I think because of all the national focuses, and maybe for all the nations, just cut all the days in half. And then after play testing it, see the ones that you want to increase the time on it. And if you go, oh, well, then you get a bunch of stuff early. Well, then go into certain ones and go, you can only do this one after conditions, maybe just a date, or maybe it's like after you've occupied Denmark or whatever, depending on what it might be. So that, some condition, well, this condition will only happen after occupation of Denmark. Well, okay, put, control of certain province or whatever, So, and you can do all that for the national focus. So you can, keep someone, even if you cut the time in half, rushing to some point that you shouldn't get to too early. You can just put hard dates in some places. So, it's like that. So this is you're taking the journey with me instead of me being the expert on it. Now, if this turns out to be a worthy mod, and so far it's doing pretty good, I want to go wrestle with them, like I say, over a few issues. But, and if they're willing to concede to me on some of these issues a little bit more, I hope they are. Because I think I have, it's not just me as some sort of important person or anything. No, I don't look at that. But it's me as a fairly well-informed person, and I know they are too, but I'm just surprised that they, I don't know. Do they really mean me not to be doing rubber research now, and really would rather have me doing the Czech stuff that happened in, like, both of these things happened back in early 39, as far as I know. I'll be, now, like, Nibelungen Work Tank Factory. Yeah, see, here we go. after September 1st, 1941. Yeah. So when you have something like this, just, to keep me from, power moving to something, great. I'm happy with that. But I have not been able to do, to do what I think is, because some of these things are like flak defense areas. To get to the, I forget what Luftflak zone this was, but Rhineland, Saarland, Mosselland was a Luftflak zone that was very heavily developed. I'm not saying they didn't add more to it as the war went on, especially, once America is showing up with Britain doing day and night bombings, and, this is generically sort of the Ruhr, this area here, that they, and they also, of course, came up here and added more here. But this area here was heavily developed before the war with France, and as part of developing, literally as part of the West Wall program. It was, they're building the physical wall, but, it's not a wall, it's a series of fortifications. Some of them are, the sort of jack-like anti-tank traps. Some of them are the dragon's teeth, the concrete pillars to stop tanks, bunch of barbed wire, spread out over huge fields of it, and bunker systems. That's what the West Wall is, but it's also a Luftflak zone in the rear and all, some of these other areas here that was built at that same time. Okay, so I know that as a historical fact. Well, to get this done before, and even there's some conditions that are now not showing because we've already met them, but can get this done, I've got to get all the way down here prior to 1939. So before the war, before the end of 1939, I've got to get to here to get this built. Or I have to spend my factory time instead of building my civilian factory time instead of building factories. And I will get to the chat. Don't worry, guys. I got to spend my time either building, synthetic factory, oil, or building military factories, or I've got to build flak tower or, flak defenses, and a lot of these things, so I've got to dig my way down to here before the start of the war and do Luftwaffe stuff and do some naval stuff. Cause they did not really do, well, it depends on, Plan Z was never like fully implemented. I mean, it was a goal. They were building some ships that would fit into it. I don't know exactly what this means, what they think this means, meaning this is just the start of Plan Z, that, hey, we're gonna do some of this stuff, here, or, or is it meant to be pick one or the other U-boat? But we haven't even been able to get down here. And we haven't done Panzer stuff, some of the basic tank stuff, Herr doctrines and tactics. So, and Luftwaffe, so there's no way. Oh, and they've already picked one of these things. So why the hell do you need 21 days or 28 days to befriend either one you're already befriended with, and just, resubmit relations, or switch to the other side? This is my, not that otherwise I don't, right now don't have a problem with these other than the time that it takes, and get to the historical Vienna awards and other things at more or less the historical date. And some of these are just bypassed that are down here because we're now at war. And so, yeah, I get, this helps with various things, yes. Political reach or political power. I don't know that this is, we've already got that, yeah. But, so, we could do this, expand, So, yeah, that's my problem with this. is that there. And so we're going on this journey together with this mod. And if this mod turns out to be either something that's reasonable for me to play, something that I'm willing to either put the effort in to make a sub mod that somehow loads in and does things that I like it better. But I don't really want to just do it for Germany. But I don't know what it should be for the Soviets, because I haven't studied the Soviets. I don't know what it should be for France or some of these others. So I would just, in so many of these cases, especially ones with these big things, just like cut the days in half, throw in historical date limitations where needed. But yeah, I know I'm in that rut because I'm there. So we're going on this. But if this turns out good, and if we can, you know, because I know there's some other big players that have played Black Ice, and I know there's smart people doing this, but if we can get some of this stuff worked out, then it's going to be worth my time. And I would really like to have and not that I won't, and I will try other mods, you know, I don't know if look at Total War mod or whatever again. I'm willing to look at other mods too. But to really have a specific mod that's sort of a home, if you will, to learn, and then I can come back, you know, play on my own time. As well as, you know, maybe like ask if we do this as a multiplayer, either as a, you know, cooperative game, go back and do another Ministers game, or do a competitive game, you know, if it's worth, and if I know it well enough, especially if it's a, you know, co-op game, I can guide some of the other players through some of the stuff and know what we need to do. I'm very willing to learn it and put in my time, but this is the you know, let's learn this time frame. So yeah, that, you know, and so I get the, you know, World of Blaze just isn't for me, and it really isn't, because I'm looking for a historical, yeah, well, simulation is an overstatement, but a historically plausible situation game. And yes, I know the combat AI is a problem, so, and now if you can just make smarter AI so that, again, if you can make an AI that has, you know, when you look at the enemy, oh, hey, there's mountains. Oh, happens to have a mountain division in it. Well, that's very good. And there's not another mountain division sitting out in the plain somewhere, and there isn't another mountain over here. The area, oh, well, they put the cavalry in the mountains. Yeah, that ain't the best, you know, and not just as an emergency, I mean as like a planned, while having a mountain division sticking out in the plains, you know. So no one's able to, you know, either the modders aren't able to get in and touch the things, which I think is the case for the modders, and the developers aren't able to do this. I get the AI ain't bad, but if you, I don't think I've ever complained about a smarter AI in any of the Hearts of Iron games if they can make it smarter. It's more giving buffs to do that. So let's go through this. Okay. Lots of stuff been said. Okay. Oh, wow. Lots of stuff. I know. I can get down and focus on it. Okay. Was that you, Seth, that wrote this stuff? Okay. And I thought, oh, you did. Okay, Seth, you did. Yes. And I do thank you for the very long post, and to see this becomes another World War I or not. Okay. Oh, you mean the invasion of France? Yes. You did that. Yeah. And yes, we have Discord. I think if you scroll down on the on the live stream there, I think there's a link to the Discord. Or look around, or whatever, we'll get you it. Or you can maybe look over on Twitch or something if somebody already hasn't dropped a link. You know, if Arno wants to, oh, hello, Arno, over on Kick and Rumble, thank you. If Arno or somebody wants to drop a link to, you know, an invite to the Discord, I don't know, maybe they already have. If you haven't already, that would be fine for Seth. Yeah, and I just sort of quickly skimmed it, not reading every detail, but I wanted to see what you had to say, basically. And I know I'm not saying you're wrong, and I was trying to learn this stuff. And like I say, if somebody given me a good roadmap, I would have followed it. And it shouldn't be a mysterious roadmap and whatnot. So yeah, and I really appreciate it. And you know, I'm happy to have people criticizing me. And not everything is for me. Not, and whatever. Did you hear the news that India launched the moon rocket? It was successful. Oh, well, very good. No, I hadn't heard about that. That's cool. I wrote you on the video of World Ablaze, Black Ice. I thought he was referring to that. Yeah, that's what, yeah. Yes, that's, there were some comments. Yes, good. Well, very good. Well, I think we need more than just the U.S. and Russia's crumbling. So Russia's space program is, I'm sure, crumbling. We need more than just the U.S. doing proper space. I know there's a bunch of countries that put low orbit rockets up to put satellites up, like China and others. But more and more nations need to get proper space development programs. So. Yes. Yes, Singh is in India, if that's who you're referring to. I'm not going to dox him any more than that, but yes. You need to build skills for world abilities. Everything needs to work together, calculated historically. Things were not easy. Yeah, I have some problems with that, with what some of the historical stuff too. But I have problems with everything because I'm well informed and opinionated. Doesn't mean I'm correctly informed or my opinions are correct, but of course I think they are, but doesn't mean that that's the actual truth. Usually you play against humans, their custom rules, not, joining. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we set a few of those up too. Normally, yes, good evening if I didn't say earlier, Tinky. Yeah, and I know you've watched at least some of the multiplayer stuff. Yeah, normally mostly it's how nations join the wars and get involved in the wars. Do we have the custom rules? Once you're in, normally you can do whatever is practical. I mean, the buffs there make it. Yeah, so yeah, you're right, Ari. The buffs are super bad once you're going into the Soviet Union. Right, to replicate historical success, you need to have production and recruitment policies which are at least as good as historical ones, which means the brain work of thousands of talented men. Yes. Yep. Okay. You probably should not be doing synthetics rubber now. Historical AI schedule that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. 42. You're supposed to use stockpile. Yeah, as in history, but we can't stockpile as much as I think you should be able to. Hello, American monarchist, or otherwise known as Ari over on YouTube. In provinces, even the AI in some of the cheapest buildings in the game. Yeah, I know, but I want to do that. Gives you events 73. Okay. PP for SS Klagenfurt. Then join. Okay. Yes, focus trees. Same soldiers, ones above, and that's a good bomb enemy without. There we go. 4. Yeah. Okay, Arno's done gamers Discord very much. Very good. Thank you, Arno. So everyone can get it if you are interested, and that is where we hang out, play multiplayer games. Last night I saw Werewolf Man and Niagara were playing. I think it was EU4. I didn't pop in and say hi or anything. I just saw that they were playing it. Multiplayer to get, I don't know if cooperatively or against each other or something. So you can find opponents or fellow players of various games over there on our Discord. So everybody watching later, if and there's various ways to find the links to it. Ask, I'll post them, later on if this is the, posted as the posted videos and not as part of the live stream. We'll get you there too, so you can hang out with us. And there's voice chats and there's silly memes and other stuff. So, but we're going to end this episode, not the live stream, but this episode now. I want to thank you all for making it this far. Really do appreciate everyone. See you next time for more, yes, even more Hearts of Iron.